Hi everybody, this is Tarina. I am going to be using the Feathers stamp set, and that stamp set was in the newly retired Close to My Heart Seasonal Expressions catalog. So it's no longer available, but I'm sure you can find it out there somewhere. This is the Florence paper pack, and yes, I'm cutting out the center, and yes, it comes back to bite me in the butt a little bit later, but I love the paper, and as much as I love the paper, I really don't want to get 2 packs of it. I don't end up using as much as I think I will, so I do tend to trim out the excess or extra, like the center of the back, so that I can use it later on. So I'm just going, these are brand new stamps, so I seasoned them a little bit, and that one, I think that one's my favorite stamp right there. I'm going to use that more often. I really like that stamp. I've already got ideas for my next layout with this. Something with, kind of like a wreath style, a circle with with feathers and vellum and either gold or silver or both, and a little bit of watercolor. I'm pretty sure that's coming in my future. So now this is, I think, the part that takes the longest. I'm going to stamp all except for the arrow-shaped one feather in on the page. I think I do 2 of each, I think. And I'm just stamping it in Versamark so that I can emboss it with gold. And the video that I referenced at the beginning that I was inspired by Ari Landgraf, I really hope I said her name right. Hers was a lot different from this, but I knew that I had the feather stamps, and when she did her oldie but a goodie number 9 Pink Fresh Studio, it really inspired me to actually do something with those feather stamps, which is great because I liked them and I knew they were going to be retired, so I got them without really having an idea of what I was going to do, which is very naughty of me. But that's one thing that I love about YouTube and Pinterest. They all have beautiful ideas and tons of inspiration. And here I'm just going to dry them all. I'm really glad that I actually remembered to destatic my page. It's funny because the next step after heating all these is going to totally obliviate that pretty much, but at first when you do an embossed image, you generally want a nice crisp image. I love how the detail actually shows up through this. And that would be my children. No matter how much I tell them to be quiet, they don't listen, because, they're kids. And I'm sure here soon the neighbors will be over here asking to play. So I added a little bit down below, a little bit of embossing powder because I didn't think there was enough on one of the leaves, and I forgot to wipe away the excess around I keep calling them leaves, feathers. I forgot to wipe away the extra, and so when I heated it, it kind of left a little bit of a spray, and I thought, at first I wanted to scrape it off there, and then I looked at it and I was like, that's actually kind of cool. It makes it less like, feather, paper. So I actually just started adding it all over the page. Like, I don't know, kind of like dust, like gold dust. And, what better to go with gold feathers than gold dust? So that's what I did. And it proves to be a pain trying to keep it all on there and get it all melted, because it likes to melt when it's touching, it's like all the little granules are touching each other, but not so much when they're not. So it took a while to actually get that done, but yeah, you can see them. Just highlight yellow. So pretty. And I really think that it adds a nice touch to the whole page as well. So really, other than this part with the embossing and the feathers, and I think the next part when I use my craft knife, I think that's as far as I've really thought it through. And I was just thinking, not actually, planning of any sort, just that's kind of the idea that popped in my head. And so I really didn't have any idea what I was going to do other than the feathers. There goes the leaves again. That's what happens when I do this right when I wake up. I'm just going over them and making sure they're fully melted and adding more. And somehow I remembered to actually shut my heat gun off in between every time, so I didn't blow powder everywhere, which is a big thing for me because I never remember to shut it off. I'm always spraying it all over the place. The same with glitter. Glitter is one of those things that just gets everywhere. And so when our craft room is in our bedroom, my husband's not very happy when the glitter gets everywhere. It's funny. He ends up wearing it to work. So I think... I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, yep. I have a cutting mat somewhere, and it's little, but with all of the moving and decluttering and reorganizing, I don't know what I did with it, so I decided to go get one of my kitchen cutting mats. And it works great. I might just keep it in here. And so I'm just going to trim these out. I don't know if I do every one or I do a few of them to show you what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to fold them up like that. And I have not used my craft knife in forever. It probably really misses me because I used to use it on everything. But moving does that. It really keeps you busy. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, so I did fast forward through it all. That saved you guys a lot of time, because that took forever. I think altogether, this layout took about an hour and a half. Granted, I guess some of that was maybe about an hour because I was talking to my kids behind me on the bed sometimes, which is part of the reason I had to fast forward so much. But yeah, and here's the part that it gets stuck because, you know, I wasn't thinking because I was distracted, and at least it came off easily. I am very, very, very thankful for that. And then this is another paper in the Florence pack, and it has the words unique and the definition of unique on it all over the page. And it's perfectly coordinated for this paper pack because it's in the paper pack, which is awesome. One of my favorite parts of Close to My Heart. It takes the time and guesswork out of it all. Okay, so I just paused it and got my mat so that it was easy for me to pull it up off of there, just in case I ended up doing that again. And then I'm just going to cut all these pieces out and stick them on and then re-stick them on, and then I think I even put a full back on this just so that it's actually easy to slide in a pocket. And as you can see, there's sticky sticking out. So, and I really didn't want to use all of this paper for this, so I tried to just use it sparingly. And I'm just adhering them closer to the feathers. Uh-oh. I might just have to pause this. I heard something going into the sewer tank. Just a second. Well, I guess there goes a toothpaste lid down into the RV gray water tank. Kids will be kids. Alright, so I'm just squishing these up, and I don't even know if I put the back on there yet. I might do that next or something, I don't know. Yep, I think that's what I'm doing, is going to get the... I'm going to get the cream cardstock, which is in my stash in here in my little craft area. But when I stash a lot of stuff in my craft area, it gets very... It's like a puzzle to take it apart and get all the stuff out, which just means that I need to reorganize. So I will reorganize it again. I did trim that down a little bit just so that it didn't take up the whole entire back, if I remember right. Yeah. Look at that. I could totally use that back side for the back side of the 12 by 12 page. That would work perfect. I wonder what I could do with that. So these are little 6x6 pieces. They, as a consultant, I can get a hold of the, I think they're like trial pieces of paper, so that I can show my guests and things at gatherings what the papers actually look like. And I don't have any gatherings. Nobody seems to want any gatherings, so I decided that I would use them I would show them what they can do with them. And this is a cut-apart sheet, and you can use this for pocket scrapbooking, or you can use it for regular scrapbooking or card making. You can use it for mini albums, my crush books. I mean, there are so many options for these sheets, and they have different patterns than the actual paper has too, which I thought was pretty cool. And I'm going to use some of these. And these are from I got the actual 12 by 12 paper pack just because I knew that I wanted it from the Florence paper pack. But these smaller 12 by 12 bits are, well, I don't want to waste them. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to use them. And I thought I wanted to use this one. I really like the contrast in the color. I guess maybe, kind of a nautical theme. But feathers are not really all that nautical, so it just wasn't, I don't know. I've really been liking the nautical theme lately. And I have not liked that ever. I don't know why. I just never have. And so it really screamed nautical to me for some reason. But that was not what I was going for. So I changed it all up in the end. Or in the middle. So and I thought I wanted this little card all cut out. That's actually really cute. If it was on a different, maybe the back side. I think that would probably look really cute. Just a second. Alright. Had to let the cat in the room because the cat was patiently waiting on the rug in the bathroom for me to open my bedroom door. Yes, she's a very, very, very spoiled cat. The unique, I don't know what you call it, card piece there, it actually has a little, like a pattern on it. It's very light blue, and it was actually very cute, but it just didn't, I wasn't getting what I wanted, so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna try craft. Because I pulled out the compliments, I was like, wow, there's craft paper. Duh. So I decided, that's probably gonna go really well. Close to my heart knows what they're doing. So that's when I decided to go for the craft paper, which is close to my heart, so they do have it if you would like it. And I'm just trimming up that red piece because I want to use some of it on the other side. So I just cut out a little, yeah, like so. I can't believe that actually worked. Every time I tend to trim things out, it does not work and I have to start over. I don't know what it is, if I'm going too fast or just not measuring things right. But and I hate cutting things with my scissors. I really prefer to use the trimmer. But let's see, these are one of those cards I really liked. I don't remember what it has on it. Let me see if I can find them. Here's the layout. It's kind of got, I don't even know how to explain that. Wow. I would say lines, but I don't know what else to say. They're like white lines. It's almost like, you know what, when you look on Google Maps and you see a whole bunch of fields that are plowed and they all go different directions, that's pretty much what this looks like. That paper, that tan, light cream colored paper. It actually looks pretty nice. And that really does kind of pull in the whole feather, chillaxed, my daughter vibe. Kylie's very laid back and relaxed. And here pretty soon, I'm going to be doing a video on how I replace my foam tape on that sheet down there. It's so simple, and I can't believe I haven't been able to do a whole lot of crafting because of life, but and now this twine is not close to my heart. I know I actually used something that wasn't close to my heart. Well, I guess the gold embossing isn't close to my heart either, but they do offer gold embossing powder and silver and white, I think. I really do miss that they didn't decide to do black. I think black is a big color to not have, but it probably wasn't a big seller. I noticed a lot of their color palettes and everything are very vibrant and bright. I would have to say it would go really great with holiday, or like with the Halloween stuff, but because it's one season, huh? Now these are the compliments, and I just pulled these out to see what I wanted to use, or if I wanted to use something. And the foil color that is featured in this pack is rose gold. And I did not use rose gold on this layout. I don't know, it just seemed like a little much for the page, that, and I don't have any rose gold embossing powder. Which, by the way, if you guys know where you can get any rose gold embossing powder, that would be great, because I would love to get some. But so I'm just picking out the ones that don't have any rose gold on them, and then that leaves white and peacock colored craft pieces. And then I decide the white is just too much contrast, so I pull everything out that's white, or try to cover it up. And I probably could have used all of these and just made a bunch of clusters, but for some reason I just wasn't feeling very clustery today, or during that time, so I just took one and I kind of made it work. Just added a little bit of the blue in there so that it wasn't like just something stuck it on there. It kind of, actually goes well. So I know that was a tag, and I probably could have poked a hole in it and actually added some twine or thread or something, but I didn't. I wanted to keep it fairly simple for some reason. I'm not a very simple scrapbooker, honestly. Usually my videos take a long time to do, so, because they're so intricate. Which is why I try to do voiceovers, and why I'm having so many technical difficulties, because I cannot stand humming. Humming in my videos drives me nuts. So I'm finally figured out how to do it with my camera, which is nice. And so I'm just gonna use that from now on. Get myself back on track. And these are the gold sequin pack from Close to My Heart. And I think this is pretty much going to round it up. Just put a couple on here for a spray, and I think that's it. And I will see you guys later in another update, or another